That... Okay.
What?
All right, I guess we're just going to say we didn't see that then. A flock of people have already gathered in the mansion's front yard by the time we officially open the doors. Oh, the open house. I'm not sure whether I should feel baffled or underdressed standing in their presence. Men and women of wealth and status, all dressed to the nines in fancy suits and lovely dresses of varying colors, compose the medium-sized crowd. Their necks, arms, and fingers are adorned with silver and gold, glinting in the afternoon sun. Some even have ridiculous fancy feathered hats on their heads.
Who are these people?
This is, oh, not the bourgeois. Yeah, bourgeois.
Bourgeoisie?
Bourgeoisie? What's the difference between bourgeois and bourgeoisie?
I think bourgeois, isn't that that's an adjective describing, oh, very bourgeois.
Oh.
But the bourgeoisie are the actual people.
The bourgeoisie are bourgeois.
Yes.
Okay, got it. I really hope there aren't any magpies living nearby like in the stories. Those birds will have a field day in this. They're murmuring among themselves, looking at the estate's facade appraisingly, with some arguing about whose mansion was the superior architecture. But most of it stops as Rose calls for their attention. They don't look too pleased at being ordered around, but what can they do about it?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We'll be taking a tour of the mansion in 2 groups. Please make sure you filled up our sign-in forms before joining a specific group.
Those who want to look around the first floor, please follow my partner. I'll be guiding the ones who wish to see the ground floor.
Hearing this, a few wander to me. They are mostly old ladies who seem daunted at the idea of climbing all those stairs. Miss McCulloch also joins our group, but what really catches my eye is the elegantly dressed pair as she approaches.
These people are all in the intro.
Yes, I was about to say even the girl, but yes, that necklace. Yep.
It's so nice to finally meet you! When Chief Inspector Lee mentioned that a famous interior designer is in town, I knew I had to get you!
Your confidence in my skills is very flattering, ma'am.
I'm sure you won't disappoint, Marianne.
Oh, you know each other?
Not at all, ma'am.
You mentioned something about a Marianne on our way here, darling?
Oh, yes, I think I did.
What?
I don't know. Just reading between the lines to see if there's something there. Ah, they must be the clients she was talking about. I might have seen their faces somewhere before. Some magazine or the television? I can't quite remember. But then again, most of our guests have likely ended up on the news one way or another. I won't be surprised if these two already have. For people who are popular, though, they aren't dressed as loudly as the others, and in their simplicity, the couple stands out. The woman in particular is stunning enough to turn the heads of most people in my group, especially the men with wandering eyes. The guy standing beside her doesn't seem to mind, though. And if I'm going to be a bit bolder with my assumptions, I'd say he's basking in the attention. Both of them, in fact. I'd think they are brother and sister if it wasn't for the public display of affection. The matching rings on their fingers just cement the fact that they are, indeed, a couple.
My only sunshine.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. Something, 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 something.
You don't
Please
know the
don't
words?
take my sunshine away. I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
Whatever. Couple or not, what's important is we get this deal closed before the current owners can even think of canceling the listing. I just hope one of the people in my or Rose's groups is brave and generous enough to buy this mansion. And so, with papers in hand, I lead the way. When they aren't whispering among themselves or going ooh and ah over one thing or another, they ask questions. From how the restoration process went to the history of the place, I answer them all, more than happy to talk about the art pieces and architecture, mostly. However, I'm careful not to mention anything about the urban legend. Not a good material for sales talk, even if the entire population of Luxembourg.
Luxborn?
Oh wow, I'm just adding letters everywhere. If they know about it.
Some of the furnishings here are actually the 17th century originals, all of which have undergone a painstaking restoration process just to return its original beauty. Even the glass thing, colorful ones. Oh, I don't know, but you get the idea, I hope. Especially
Stained
that one, ma'am.
glass?
It is said to be a gift commissioned by the fiancé of Lady Charlotte Ermengarde.
It's either the stained glass or the chandelier. I'm going to assume it's the stained glass.
Or maybe the thingies on the pedestals on the side of the room?
The vase?
I don't know if there's ceramic or glass.
The mansion's current owners have specifically requested that the restoration crew take great care in handling it. It's a priceless work of art and the most distinctive feature of the mansion.
Probably the window.
Probably the window. Yeah, these vases we have in these dark corners are the most distinctive features. But by the time I've stopped talking, her attention is already elsewhere.
Isn't this place wonderful, darling? I told you it's not a total waste of your time.
I don't know. Isn't it a bit too small? We might have to break a wall down to have more room.
Well, I think it is just right. Don't you think so, Marianne?
It is splendid, ma'am. But isn't it a little too early to make plans when no deal has been signed yet?
Never mind that. It isn't going to be a problem.
Lovely
We've got a
lady.
wonderful legal team to handle everything. Start taking notes, though. I think I've got a few things I want changed before we move in.
The rest of their conversation gets lost in the chatter of our companions. I don't want to make any assumptions yet, but their sheer interest is enough to give me some semblance of hope. Oh, please, please, please! Let these guys buy the one. Let these guys be the one. Let them be the ones to buy the one. Eventually, our group reaches the kitchen.
Oh.
Rustic? Ish?
Yeah.
Much like the rest of the house, a great deal of effort has been put in retaining the room's classic appeal. Oh, we have a trapdoor on the floor.
Probably goes to like a cellar or like a...
Or a dungeon. You know, probably cellar. Probably food storage cellar
Right.
thing. The open hearth at the end of the room, in particular, looks amazing. Like the ones we've only seen in fairy tale books. And mad props to the cleaning crew. Seriously, after overhearing hundreds of their complaints about the soot and tar staining the bricks and how much of a pain in the arse cleaning this will be, they still managed to pull this off. Or make it look presentable, at least.
The highlight of the room, however, is what's underneath this hatch here.
Oh, don't say anything yet. An underground wine cellar.
This is the first time the guy in gray speaks up. Mr. Luke Wright. My memory supplies from the forms they signed earlier. His sudden attentiveness catches me off guard, since at the start of the tour, only his wife has shown any form of genuine interest in the place. But this time, something lights up in his eyes at the mention of the Undercroft. So, what's so interesting about a basement? I don't really understand rich people sometimes. Right now, he just gives me the impression of a child who has seen what he absolutely wants for Christmas. I've always found it cute whenever I see children act that way, my younger siblings especially. I'm a grown man. It's almost funny.
Yes, sir. It could house around 7,000 to 11,000 bottles
Holy crap.
of wine.
Jeez.
Truly. And the room, how was it built?
The bricks that were used to build the cellar have been carefully picked for the purpose of maintaining and preserving a constant temperature and humidity in the room. It's a good place to keep your private collection in if you have one, sir.
Of 7 to 11,000
Just
bottles?
7 to 8.
Oh,
It's still a lot, yeah, but...
I can hear and read, okay?
It keeps the corks in good condition.
Oh, love. Didn't you say before that you wanted to make your own personal vineyard? Perhaps you could start one here.
Love? Apostrophe L-U-V?
Maybe like beloved.
I
don't know.
Okay. Love.
You know we're going to need space for that, darling.
And this isn't big enough?
If it's space you're worried about, sir, the Ermengarde Mansion sits on a 46-acre lot. There's plenty of room for it. We were told that the original owners had a horse stable built here before, too.
There's a contemplative expression on Mr. Wright's face, but he doesn't say anything further. His wife, however, seems really pleased that she has started to show interest, if only a little. I smiled to myself. I may not completely understand how these people's minds work, but I sure as hell know how to spot a buyer with sincere interest. Score. Can't wait to tell Rose. The rest of the tour goes by without a hitch. After more than half an hour, we're able to cover almost every room in the ground floor and are heading to the parlor. Funny, the first time BRC had us survey the property, I kept complaining to Rose how big it is. Now I can't bring myself to care no matter how much my feet hurt. Maybe it's just my excitement over a possible sale?
When we reach the parlor, however, an odd feeling washes over me. Weird noises. It starts off as small goosebumps on my skin, a feeling of being watched intently. Whispers in my ear and shadows dancing, lurking in the corners of my vision. Dark silhouettes that are gone when I turn to look. A chill settles down my spine, making me feel sick, and I start to break out in a cold sweat. I can't do this. I need to sit down for a moment. The old ladies in the group have been requesting for a break anyway. If I can just...
Excuse me, everyone? We will be taking a 15-minute rest here before we visit the first floor. In the meantime, please help yourselves to the refreshments and snacks we prepared. If anyone has any questions, feel free to approach me. I'd be happy to help you.
I let them sit while I retreat to a quiet corner to recover. It's not what you think. Don't think about it. It's not what you think. I've probably just caught Becca's cold. Don't think about it. I'm left alone for a good while, the same words spilling out of my lips in a silent prayer, until a hand taps my shoulder.
Hello, you there? Yes, ma'am?
Oh, look at you! Having to show a group around a mansion this big must be exhausting.
Not a problem, ma'am. I'm just doing my job.
What a hard worker! Anyway, Isabel, right?
Isabella, actually. But yes, what can I help you with, ma'am, right?
Please, just Hana. Call me Hana. I just wanted to ask, how soon are we able to move in?
My brain completely stops. The sick feeling plaguing me is suddenly gone, replaced by utter bewilderment. Is this a joke? She looks at me expectantly as I struggle to come up with an answer.
Wait, ma'am, you see... But we haven't even negotiated a price yet, ma'am. We haven't even finished touring the rest of the mansion. A sale would be great and all, but...
She stops me from speaking any further and puts a hand on my shoulder. For a moment, with her tight smile, she looks as if she's tasted a particularly sour lemon.
Oh, please, sweetie, don't insult me. Money is not a problem. And, just between you and me, this place is better off with us than with some old lady who'll probably just fill it up with cats.
I personally don't think there's anything wrong with having cats here, ma'am Hana. I'm sure there's more than enough space here if you want pets.
Perhaps I'm not feeling well, but really, what's wrong with cats? More importantly, why is she talking about moving in already?
Well, I'm more of a dog person. But you see, this is going to be a gift to my darling. It's going to be our anniversary soon. And it would be so wonderful if you can secure its purchase for us. Why, I can even offer something extra if you help us out with the paperwork.
We actually have a process for this, ma'am. I don't really think that would be necessary or appropriate.
And just what are you two lovely ladies talking about here? Leaving me and our lovely interior designer to talk here by ourselves. What would the people think, darling?
Oh, it's just small talk, love. I was asking if she could help me with the paperwork.
I try not to wince when her nails dig into my shoulder. I can't help but send an imploring look at Miss McCulloch, who only gives me an apologetic smile and a shrug.
Yeah, I can give you a fact sheet and a form to fill out.
She wastes no time in taking the papers from my hand and shuffles them through the bunch. Shuffles through the bunch. Cool. Oh man, Rose is going to be so angry at me for letting her do that.
Wonderful. And Marianne, I'd really love to talk to you about those changes. You took some notes earlier, yes?
I did, Mom. But I really hope that this time...
Excellent. Hopefully you can help us out too, Isabel.
Isabella.
What?
Just that she's saying everyone's name wrong constantly.
Oh, yeah. Mary Ann.
Yeah.
Right. It's a lovely name, Isabel.
It's Isabella.
I was actually wondering earlier if Santos, if she's like
It said Filipino.
American. Oh, Filipino.
I'm assuming.
Okay, because I some reason had in my head that she was like Southern California area, like a Mexican American or something. It just like, if there is Spanish in there, wouldn't Isabella be more like Isabella or something like that? Because the double L and their vowels. I don't know. Shut up.
Yes, that's great. We'll be more than happy to put in a good word to your superiors too, and... What's this?
A look of confusion and disgust appears on her face. Turning to her husband, he merely shrugs in reply.
That's, an interesting work of art. Not to my taste, though. I'm sorry.
Yeah, somehow that got mixed in there.
Darling, Buttercup, art is a complete overstatement for this garbage. It looks like a cheap prop from a D-list horror film.
Shush, love. Let the girl do what she pleases with, what do they call this? Oh, forget about it. At the very least, it's not as dreadful as the one art exhibit I was forced to attend last month. You should have seen it, Marianne. Even you would have been appalled. But I'm sure you'll know what to do with our walls once we get started.
I highly doubt it is as bad as you say, Mom. Nevertheless, you can be assured that my team will only pick whatever suits your tastes. Nothing of this chain letter sort, of course. It has to always work with a palette.
I'm quite sure chain letters these days don't come in this form.
It's my turn to be puzzled. What do they mean? Rose and I double-checked everything. Are the papers I handed not enough? I went to ask them what I did wrong. I don't want to mess this up, but with the way Ma'am Hana's leading the conversation, I'm afraid that's exactly what will happen if I do interrupt
That's
her.
good to hear. See, darling, isn't she an absolute delight to work with? I can't wait to see how this place will look when she's done with it.
Oh, you don't have to tell me that, Buttercup.
A smile is back on her face when she turns to me and hands me a strange piece of
I
paper.
would still put it away if I were you, though. Otherwise, people might get the wrong impression. Anyway, as I was saying...
I don't hear the rest of what she says after that. I can only stare down at the paper, at the letter in my hands. The sides crinkle in my grip, and my breathing grows labored. Dread quickly fills my mind.
Isabella? Isabella? Are you all right? You're looking pale.
I don't even notice when Rose Group joined us in the parlor. I want nothing more than to say that, no, I'm all right.
No, I'm not alright.
You read, I can't, apparently.
I want to leave this place. Because I remember everything as clear as day. This letter and that woman in the attic. It's real.
The letter. I'm sorry.
Look
I
at those
didn't
eyes.
know.
Careless. I've been so careless. How do I even tell them that without looking like I've gone mad? Should I even tell them? No, don't show it to her. Not now. There's people.
Okay, yeah. No, that makes sense. This is just thinking of, like, you show it to them, the group of people, well, either way, they're all gonna, like, look at you and, like, be like, what? Are you okay? Are you okay, lady?
Well, now's not an appropriate time to do it. I would hope that she would try to do it later, but if...
Not now, but later.
Right, because otherwise Rose is gonna be like, Isabella, what are you doing? You know?
And then maybe they'll freak out, and then no one will.
Or they won't take it seriously, and they'll just think she's weird.
Yeah, they'll either freak out and they won't sell the house, or they'll not take it seriously and then
die. I don't know. Just don't.
And then just like put Isabella in the corner. Okay, don't show the letter. We'll keep the crazy inside.
Rose,
The words are stuck in my throat. I want to tell her, I really do. But is she going to believe me? She already dismissed me earlier. It's a concussion, she said. It's not. There really is something in this house, in that attic, in that letter. It's going to go after us. Please, believe me.
Dear me, is Isabella all right?
Ma'am Hana's voice breaks through the haze, beginning to cloud my mind. Rose is looking down on me, worry etched on her features. I didn't even notice when she removed the wrinkled paper from my hands and pushed me to sit down on a nearby chair. From the edge of my vision, I can also make out Miss McCullough asking a passing food server for a glass of water. Through it all, Mr. Wright stands in the sidelines. Although curious, he appears more inclined to watch the scene than help. They are all as likely to believe me as Rose does. To everyone, whatever is in this house is just a hoax, a cautionary tale for children.
Isabella, do you need me to call that ambulance?
She offers me a drink, but I push it away. I need to get out of here before I cause an even bigger commotion, clear my head, take a breath of fresh air. Anything to take my mind off things. No one is going to believe me anyway.
no. I'm just feeling a bit out of it.
I think we just may have done the stupid horror movie character decision.
Oh.
I'm thinking we may have just done that.
Well, it said it affected the relationship. Can you see what it did? The heart on the bottom.
Okay, yeah. Marianne, does that mean it went up or went down?
Well, we didn't do anything with her. Did we not have
We
one?
had one for her already.
No, but we don't have one with green hair.
This is true.
What's her name again?
Rose.
Rose.
Yeah, Rose isn't in the list.
She doesn't matter, I guess.
I guess. I'll read the journal later. I'm just feeling a bit out of it.
Excuse me. I'll be back. I just need to catch my breath.
Bowing my head, I mutter a quick apology and gather my stuff to make a quick exit. It doesn't matter if this place is haunted or not. I've caused trouble, and Rose can be quite unforgiving of behavior like this. I'm almost at the door when she catches up to me.
Isabella, wait!
The apprehension must have been quite obvious on my face because her expression instantly shifts to something gentler, eyes softer, a fond smile spreading on her lips.
Hey, I'm not angry.
I know. I'm sorry I ruined this for you.
Come on, you didn't ruin anything. It's not like we haven't ran into any problems before. If we don't get a deal today, we can always try on a different day. And look.
She hesitates, completely trailing off before shifting her gaze down to her hands, small gesture to stall. Her fingers are fiddling with a piece of folded paper. It's that stupid letter again. My hands stiffen when she gives it back, but I take it, nevertheless, more as an automatic response than any desire to have it back. I'll throw it away if I can. But I have this nagging feeling that one way or another, it'll find its way back to me regardless of what I do about it.
Rose, this is... You have to let them know about...
I know you want us to get this sale so badly. and we've made a lot of plans on how to go about this. I mean, who wouldn't? This is the first time I've been assigned to a property like this. I've sold plenty of houses before, but nothing like what we have here. It's a beautiful house. I'd love to get one of my own if I ever win the lottery. But I think... Look, here's the thing, Isabella. If we are going to do this, work on something, I don't know, this big, I need you in top shape. And the way you are now...
My mind stops.
What? Wait. No, I can still work. I just need to get myself together.
That's what you said earlier. I let it go because I thought, hey, it's your own body and you should know more than anyone how you feel. But after this, I really think you should take a break.
You're kicking me out?
No, I'm not. Look, all I'm asking is for you to take a seat somewhere I can see you, and let me handle this for now. You're clearly not yourself, and I honestly could use some time not worrying when you'll fall over or not. The day's not even over, and I'm already feeling the stress. Please, humor me just this once.
She claps her hands together in front of her, eyes pleading for understanding. And I do not understand.
She does understand.
All right. And I do understand. To some extent. Oh, man. That doesn't mean I'll feel any less awful. Whether at myself, at the unlucky turn the situation has taken for her, I don't really know.
I promise I'll give you a full report of what happens after. I'll even let you take the lead tomorrow.
Fine. Okay. I'll step aside for now.
You're upset.
Yeah.
A little, yeah, obviously.
If it's any consolation, I won't tell the boss about today. You know how he is.
Please don't. I don't want a repeat of the lecture I got during my first assignment. He called me a noob, and I don't even know what that means.
At the memory, we both burst into helpless giggles, earning us strange looks from the guest milling about the door. Talking and laughing like this, it's easy to forget any mishaps that happened. Little things you learn to appreciate, I guess.
So, are we good?
I'm still not okay with it, but Rose has a point. It's better for me to step out of this one for now.
I won't be able to help you anyways if I keep getting distracted like this. Maybe I'll just take a walk outside or something while I wait for you to wrap things up.
Please, just stay put. I insist.
I'm not an invalid, Rose.
You clearly have not seen how you looked earlier.
It's not that bad.
Oh no.
What?
You remember what the letter said?
Not really.
Show this to 5 people or else. 3 people had seen it.
Uh-huh.
And we were just given the option of showing it to a 4th person, and we didn't. And
Well,
if we're now going to go and walk outside, I think we might be getting whacked.
What's the time frame? They didn't tell us.
I don't know. They didn't. I'm really worried now.
Color hasn't even returned to your cheeks yet. Just stay here, all right? Don't even think of going anywhere. Let me finish what I'm doing here, and then I'll take you back to Luxembourg myself to have that minor bump checked. At least wait for me to call someone who will fetch you, okay?
She's gone before I can voice one word of complaint.